Hello to all you beautiful people out there. Regnilla over here bringing you yet another episode of Monster Hunter Freedom Unite. For today's episode, we are going to be doing yet another epic hunting quest. And on the list today is Save the Great Forest Town, which includes the Hypnocatrice, the Emerald Congalala, and the Narga Kouga. Now, for this particular quest, I see it more as a training exercise specifically for the Narga Kouga, because there's a certain quest at the very end of this series that's gonna put all of my abilities as a hunter to the test. Now, I saw a great video of Nakote's final quest, which is called Monster Hunter, and that features the Rathalos, Tigrex, the Narga Kouga, and the Rajang. And so the Narga Kouga is obviously going to be the most troublesome, aside from the Rajang, because, well, that thing hits like a freight train. But the video that I saw had a specific way of dealing with the Narga Kouga, and I thought was actually really interesting. So if the Narga Kouga is in rage mode, and it does its little gesture when it's about to go to pounce, then you could throw a sonic bomb at it and knock it over. Not just like do it a standard flinch, but just a full-on knock it over. Now, I wasn't quite sure how that worked up until that video, because I've tried using sonic bombs on him before, and it just never seemed to work out quite the way I wanted it to. But seeing that video, it brings up a whole new strategy I can use. Now, the problem is that you want to use this technique or this strategy when the Narga Kouga is in rage mode. But the issue with that is when a Narga Kouga does its pouncing attack when it's in rage mode, it's a lot faster. It doesn't wait for about a second and a half to 2 seconds before doing its attack. It just goes all in. And so the thing I forgot in this video was to bring flash bombs, because flash bombs generally I don't like to use against a pseudo wyvern like the Tigrex or the Narga Kouga unless I need a moment to breathe, because they're all up in my face and trying to get my sweet hunter booty. But in the case of Narga Kouga and this strategy, it's actually the way you want to go, because I guess the behavior resets as though the Narga Kouga wasn't in rage mode. So that's something I'm going to keep in mind and try to utilize in the hunts to come. And speaking of the other hunts that are to come, I have good news. I have discovered an additional party that does multiplayer PSP stuff, and a group that's, well, it's a really interesting community, even though they seem to be a little bit strict when it comes to using the English language, because there's a lot of people that get reported. But I got a buddy that uses this program. It works, and I haven't seemed to have encountered any troubles with it. So I think I'm gonna start using that for the group hunt videos. So that is, I think actually that's probably just going to be the Yukonlos G rank. So the final quest for the Gathering Hall, that, or at least that I know of. There might be something afterward, but I wasn't paying attention. But along with that, I got an interesting comment that I think I'm going to go for. So another issue that I had was trying to find a few more quests to do to fill up the 100 quest mark, or the 100 episode mark. And one comment was, well, try out the DLC, and that is a great idea. I have the DLC event quests installed, so that's something I'm gonna look into, because, well, you know, that's just a really good idea. And I think there might even be the Fatalis subspecies in the event quest DLCs. I'll have to double check. But in any case, we're on monster number 2, which is the Emerald Kongolala, and as always with these epic hunting quests, I have sped up the footage a bit just to save on time. But man, I don't like fighting this guy. He's very gassy. You know, I don't like being near monsters that smell. And this guy is one of the smelliest of smellies. And if you have a fire-based weapon, in fact, that is the key weapon that you want to use here, is a fire-based weapon. If you had one of those, I believe all 3 of these monsters have some varying degree of weakness to fire. And so that could be helpful. And okay, hitboxes, and that's why I don't like this guy. Because the damn soiled status. And I like how they call it just soiled status to be all nice. In reality, you get shit on. That's pretty much it. So you get shit on, and you have to use deodorant, which, by the way, in real life situations, don't do that. Because trying to use deodorant after you've been shat on, take a shower. That's what you want to do. If you've been shat on, Axe body spray is not going to work. And it's only going to mask it for maybe about 30 minutes or so, and then people are going to go, what is that smell? And when you fight a Kongolala of any type, then that phrase is going to be very prevalent. The other hunters are going to be making fun of you. But additionally, so you want to have deodorant on this quest. You want to have flash bombs on this quest, and possibly even sonic bombs, because that's what I was doing to try to do that strategy with the Narga Kouga, and it's kind of worked. I mean, it worked definitely when he wasn't in rage mode, but as soon as he got into rage mode, I spent a good 5 minutes wondering, what the hell? Why can't I get the actual results that I want? And then I realized, oh, I don't have any flash bombs. Shit. So this is why you want to do an inventory before every hunt, because bad things are gonna happen, and sometimes a hunt is just not gonna go the way you want if you don't have the items that you need. And that it makes me wonder that if I'm going to need to offload a couple items, because I love bringing a certain set of items, so like the armor charm, power charm, and I believe there's talon versions in this game. I haven't looked in my inventory for those specific items just yet, so I don't quite remember, but I like to keep any stat boosting items in my inventory, and I think most hunters that just go in for the really hard quests, they try to take out those particular items in favor of more supportive items, so like barrel bombs, flash bombs, if they need room for it. So I might have to do that for the final quest, and that makes me nervous because, well, I like to keep my defenses high. But let's see, Narga Kouga here. I've been talking about him a lot throughout this entire thing. Poor Hypnocatrice gets no love, and the I'm just making fat jokes with the Kongolala, or, well, smelly jokes, but fat jokes, they kind of go hand in hand with something like that. But something that just drives me insane with Narga Kouga is just how powerful he is. He is just really fast, and the broken hitboxes, especially with his tail attacks, are insane. In fact, I cut this out just to save on time, but this guy did cart me at one point during the quest, because the little tail spikes that he throws out, those do a ton of damage, and you could have all the defense in the world, but that's going to take a big chunk of your health. I think the only attack that's worse from the Narga Kouga is his tail slam, so that thing right there. If you get hit by that and you're not at full health, you're probably going to be just done. It's he's going to end game you. And something that's really not fair that the Barioth from other generations at least balances out with that monster. But if you break the wings of a Narga Kouga, I think it would just stun him temporarily. It'll knock him on his side, but it doesn't have any lasting effects after that. So he's still very mobile. At least with the Barioth, he needs his wing arms in order to be able to grip the terrain. So if you break those, then he will have problems maneuvering. With Narga Kouga, you don't get any of that. You just get a really fast panther with fucking swords on his wings. Let's be honest, because you know those aren't bones; those are blades. Those are made of metal. And if you try to say no, that's not right, you're wrong. It's totally made of metal. And that is a very metal monster, by the way. If you break his face and he has a scar over his eye, I don't think you could get much more metal than a Narga Kouga in this game. But for the most part, this is a pretty straightforward hunt. You just go after the bad guys and try not to get pounced on by a giant kitty cat with freaking swords on its wings. But with that said, if you guys haven't seen my update video involving Minecraft, I might as well mention it now, is that the Minecraft 1.16 is going to be coming out here real soon, probably within the next month, probably even this month. And I've set up the very first Minecraft world I've ever played for 1.16. So I'm getting it prepared, and I'm even live streaming it to get materials and all that. So if you want to check that out, check out the Twitch link down below. But anyways, that's going to do it for me in this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you're interested in any of my other content, be sure to hit on one of those annotations featured at the end of this video, and I will see you again in the next video. Take care, people.